What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Bigboyjonnytwentyfive, and tonight I will be going over WWE Raw reviewing results. Rey Mysterio won the United States Champion. Hit that like button, hit that red button. Let's get started. We're live from the Allstate Arena near Chicago, Illinois, as the power goes off inside the arena. Vid Joseph welcomes us. He joins by WWE Hall of Famer Jerry Lawler. We see the entire Raw roster surrounding the ring as the WWE theme plays. Seth Rollins enters the ring and delivers his town hall speech. Okay, fans chant hometown star CM Punk, but Seth Rollins says he just wants to sit behind a desk in Los Angeles and talk about change. Seth Rollins says he tried to get CM Punk here on Raw. Rollins says on about how this is about all of us here tonight. Fans interrupt with a chant for WWE NXT now. Seth Rollins admits NXT wiped the floor with Raw at Survivor Series. Fans pop. Seth Rollins goes on about how he always been a fan of Raw. He says it's going to be harsh, but it has had to be said. Seth Rollins addressed the Raw roster at ringside and says, "You all sucked last night." Fans responded with the "You suck" chant now. Seth Rollins says he's trying to right the ship here, and we all did bad last night. Rollins goes on about how they need to take the top spot back for Raw, make it a show again. He asks fans to give him just a minute. Seth Rollins believes in Raw, which is why he called the roster here. He asks if anyone wants to speak up. Seth Rollins says Orton was on his team last night, and he was the weak link. Orton stares at Randy Orton. Seth Rollins asks if he has anything to say. Orton just walks away and goes to the back. Seth Rollins talks trash as Randy Orton heads up to the ramp. Seth Rollins asks Charlotte Flair next. She says Charlotte Flair is supposed to be the leader of the women's division, but she wasn't even the last one standing for the team. Seth Rollins says she calls herself a Flair. Charlotte Flair also walks off to the back like Orton. Seth Rollins turns to the Authors of Pain and says they weren't even at Survivor Series because they didn't even have a match. That's the reason why the Authors of Pain wasn't even at Survivor Series. But let me continue. But maybe they should been, because they been talking about violence for weeks and Team Raw could have used it. AKM and Reza also walk off. Rollins addressed Rey Mysterio and blasted him for not being able to beat WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins calls Dominic Rey's son stupid kid, and Rey walks off as well. Fans chant, "You know what?" at Rollins as the rest of the Raw locker room walks to the back now. Kevin Owens is the only one left, standing in the apron and standing Rollins down now. Seth Rollins mentions Kevin Owens being on Team NXT now. Seth Rollins invites Kevin Owens in the ring to speak. Seth Rollins goes on about how much he loves Raw and he loves it, waiting to make it better. Seth Rollins calls Kevin Owens a lazy piece of crap and says he just showed up. Seth Rollins says Owens will be Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins says he didn't mean it that way, but he's coming from a good place. Seth Rollins says this is the right thing to do. Kevin Owens responded with nothing but a kick to the gut and a stunner. Kevin Owens exits the ring as his music hits. We see Seth Rollins recovering on the mat as Raw goes to commercial break. So thank you, Kevin Owens, for giving Seth Rollins a stunner, because we all needed that. So thank you, Kevin Owens. Now, back from the break, Seth Rollins is backstage looking upset. Charlie Caruso approaches and says it didn't look like things went how Seth Rollins planned. She says he was just trying to get Raw back on the same page. Seth Rollins proposes a match against Kevin Owens tonight and then walks off. Okay, so Bobby Lashley versus Titus O'Neil. This match was garbage. And so it is weird from there. We go to the ring and out comes Bobby Lashley with Lana. Oh my God. Anyway, Titus O'Neil waits in the ring. We see how Rusev was swerved in a temporary restraining order earlier today when he arrives to the arena. He was then escorted out by security. The bell rings as fans chant for Rusev. Lashley and Titus go at it. Titus gets some shots in, but Lashley decks him. Titus with another big chop, but Lashley comes right back and dives Titus O'Neil down. Rusev suddenly runs to the ring and attacks Bobby Lashley for the disqualification as Lana yells. The winner by disqualification, Bobby Lashley. After the bell, Lashley and Rusev brawl to the floor as Lana screams at Rusev. Rusev get the upper hand and sends Lashley into the barrier, then yells at him. Fans chant Rusev Day. As they brawl up the ramp, Lashley gets control, but Rusev drops him again on the ramp. Rusev stands tall as fans pop for him. Rusev sends Lashley into the lead board on the stage. They face first into the announcer table. Rusev takes the top off the table to clear it. As Lana continues yelling, Rusev puts Lashley on the table and turns to Lana, telling her this is not about her. Police officers run out now and pull Rusev off of Lashley, placing him in handcuffs. Lana taunts him for breaking the law. She checks on Lashley now. Rusev gets free from the officers and charges at Lashley while he stands while his hands are still cuffed behind his back, and knocks Lashley from the stage onto the platform below. Fans pop for Rusev. Rusev then kicks over the tallest structured part of the set, and it lands on Lashley. Lana screams out. Rusev smiles and plays the crowd, saying he's back. Officers takes Rusev to the back as we go to commercial break. For my opinion, this was a good segment. It's just my opinion, so I have the right to title my own opinion. This was a good segment. That's just my opinion. But let me continue. Back from the break, we see what just happened with Rusev. We see how Lana looked concerned about Bobby Lashley as he was loaded onto a stretcher and put into a neck brace during the commercial due to commercial break. Artist of Pain versus Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins. Now, I was glad to see the Artist of Pain in action. I was so glad to see the Artist of Pain in action. You know what I'm saying? But let me continue. We go to the ring, and out comes the Artist of Pain, Akria and Rezar. Mike Rome does the introductions. AOP rush the ring as Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins wait. Curt Hawkins and Akria start things off. Curt Hawkins charged but gets beat down. Rezar tags in and they hit the last chapter. Rezar levels Ryder with a big boot and beats him down with knees and more strikes. Akria tags back in. They scoop both of their opponents and drive them over onto the turnbuckle at the same time. They deliver the Super Collider at the same time. Rezar tags back in for the big assist double powerbomb in the middle of the ring for the pin to win. To win on Hawkins. The winners of the match, the Artists of Pain. After the match, Akria and Rezar stands tall as we go to replay. Akria and Rezar stands tall over Hawkins as the music plays. Still to come, Auska versus Charlotte Flair. Also, the United States Champion AJ Styles versus Humberto Carrillo. And Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. We go to commercial. Adrade versus Akira Tozawa. This match was quick. Back from the break, and out comes Adrade with Zelina Vega. Akira Tozawa waits in the ring. They meet in the middle of the ring, and Akira Tozawa shows Adrade. Adrade comes back and powerbombs Akira Tozawa. Adrade allows while Akira Tozawa is down. Adrade keeps control and delivers a chop and knee in the corner. Adrade chops Akira Tozawa grounded now. Akira Tozawa rallies up, but Adrade hits a suplex. Akira Tozawa blocks the next suplex with a roll-up for a 1 count. Akira Tozawa keeps fighting and hits a snap German suplex. Adrade is shocked now. Akira Tozawa goes to the top, but Adrade cuts him off and beats him down. Zelina Vega cheers Adrade on as she delivers the double knees in the as he delivers the double knees in the corner. Zelina Vega calls for Adrade to finish Akira Tozawa. Adrade puts the hammer-like DDT in the middle of the ring for the pin to win. The winner of the match, Adrade. After the match, Adrade stands tall as his music hits, and Vega joins him in the ring. We go to replay. So, finally, Adrade wins the match without Zelina Vega's help. That's all that happened. So, we get Aleister Black cutting the same promo. Aleister Black is backstage addressing how Buddy Murphy knocked on his door for a fight 1 year ago. Black says Murphy has a match tonight, so he's coming to collect. Buddy Murphy came to pick a fight with Aleister Black just by coming to the arena, Black says. Okay. That segment was terrible by Aleister Black. Matt Hardy versus Buddy Murphy. I am glad to see Matt Hardy back on Monday Night Raw. I'm glad to see Matt Hardy back in action. So that's all I got to say from here. We go to the ring and out comes Matt Hardy for his return. Back to commercial. Back from the break and out comes Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy unloads to start to beat Matt Hardy down in the corner. Matt Hardy comes back and mounts Buddy Murphy in the corner with strikes. Murphy strikes free and hits a big kick to the chin. Buddy Murphy sends Matt Hardy out of the ring for a hard fall next. Buddy Murphy follows to the floor and keeps control, launching Matt Hardy from barrier to barrier. Buddy Murphy laughs as the beating continues. Buddy Murphy brings it back into the ring, but lands on his feet from the top as Matt Hardy moves. Matt Hardy with a side effect on Murphy. Matt Hardy rocks Buddy Murphy with a right hand. Matt Hardy goes for the bulldog, but blocks. But Matt Hardy fights out of the corner and comes off the second rope with the elbow drop. Matt Hardy rallies the crowd and calls for a delete chant. Buddy Murphy blocks the twist of fate and hits a huge knee to the face. Buddy Murphy with another big running knee to the face. Buddy Murphy drags Matt Hardy over and delivers the third big knee to the face, dazzling Matt. Buddy Murphy covers for the pin to win. The winner of the match, Buddy Murphy. After the match, Buddy Murphy stands tall as the music hits. We go to replay. Buddy Murphy takes the mic and calls out Aleister Black, taunting him. Black comes out and charges the ring. They stare each other down. Buddy Murphy strikes first, but Aleister Black fights back and unloads. Aleister Black takes Buddy Murphy with a big strike and a big knee to knock him out of the ring. Aleister Black watches as Buddy Murphy stumbles around at ringside. Fans chant for Black. Buddy Murphy acts like he's going to go back in the ring, and he doesn't. We get replayed by Buddy Murphy makes his exit as Black watches. Still to come, Humberto Carrillo versus AJ Styles with the title on the line. Charlie Caruso is backstage with Charlotte Flair. She talks about her history with Auska and what happened between them at Survivor Series. Is ready to make Auska pay for using the Miz tonight. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we see what happened between Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. That match is official tonight. The WWE United States the WWE United States Champion title match were on the line. So Humberto Carrillo versus AJ Styles. We go to the ring, and out comes first the WWE United States Champion AJ Styles for a title defense. Humberto Carrillo is out next. Carrillo is suddenly attacked by the ramp by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. They destroy Humberto Carrillo at ringside on the apron as AJ watches. They drive Humberto over the steel ring steps with a magic hook before joining AJ in the ring. Fans boo as the OC stand tall in the ring. Ricochet comes down to check on Humberto with referees at ringside. AJ takes the mic and taunts Humberto. He also has words for Ricochet. Ricochet takes the mic and asks if this is the AJ if this what the great AJ Styles has become. Ricochet then challenged AJ, but AJ says he signs a contract to defend against Humberto Carrillo, not Ricochet. And Humberto Carrillo just got carried out. AJ denies Ricochet. The music hits, and out comes Randy Orton to a pop. Orton says Humberto can't compete, but he can. Pulls the people of Chicago would love to see me RKO AJ Jr. through the mat. Orton challenged AJ to put the title on the line. Fans chant RKO now. AJ reminds Orton last time they faced it was WrestleMania, and he won. AJ says he's nothing to prove against the two guys he already defeated. The music interrupts, and out comes Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre says he might have a solution. He knows a guy who AJ never faced, a guy who never had a single title shot. Drew says he's tall, handsome, and has sexy accent. Drew goes on about his success at Survivor Series, including the pin on WWE UK champion Walter. Drew McIntyre says Chicago doesn't deserve this match. But how about Drew versus AJ Styles for the title for the first time ever? AJ Styles says a little sore after selling the show at Survivor Series. The music hits again, and out comes Rey Mysterio. Rey talks about how he faced the WWE champion Brock Lesnar last night, and AJ Styles is just making excuses. Rey goes on and says he's not going to let AJ cheat Chicago out of the title match. So let's just make it Rey versus AJ. AJ goes on about how they haven't earned anything. He turns them down because they are just entitled. Ricochet responded a fatal four-way with the winner challenging AJ later tonight. Drew prefers his idea. AJ says Ricochet is dumb. Drew Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson disagrees with AJ. That is a bad idea. AJ tells them to go ahead and beat the crap out of each other. He will pick the bones. We go to commercial break. The number one contenders fatal four-way: Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio. Okay. But why this match had to happen? I don't know. The bell rings and Ricochet fights off Rey Mysterio, and Randy Orton as the bell rings. The winner will become the new number one contender for the WWE United States Champion AJ Styles. Drew McIntyre gets involved but ends up dumped to the floor. Rey and Ricochet go at it back in the ring now. Ricochet and Rey double drop kick Randy Orton to the floor. Drew ends up catching Ricochet and dribbling him hard out on the floor. Randy Orton then manhandles Rey and sends him out onto Ricochet. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre double team Ricochet in the ring now. Drew chops Ricochet while Randy Orton holds him. Drew with a big suplex to Ricochet. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre continue to double team Ricochet in the corner. Rey Mysterio comes back in, but they shut him down, and Drew sends him out to the floor. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre go back to working on Ricochet in the corner. Ricochet fights off Drew and unloads in the corner. Randy Orton was also dropped. Ricochet comes off the top on Drew, but lands on his feet. Randy Orton levels Ricochet. Rey Mysterio comes back in and takes out Drew. Randy Orton was also sent to the floor. Rey Mysterio and Ricochet trade shots in the corner now while Ricochet is on the apron. Ricochet and Rey Mysterio go to the top now. Ricochet shoves Rey to the apron. Drew rocks Ricochet and stomps Rey Mysterio. Drew McIntyre climbs up for a superplex on Ricochet, but Rey rocks him. Ricochet knocks Drew upside down in the corner. Rey Mysterio pounds on Ricochet while Drew is upside down. Rey Mysterio comes over and shoves Ricochet from the top to the floor on the outside. Randy Orton climbs up for a superplex on Rey, but Drew pulls himself up and sends them both to the mat. All three are down on the mat while Ricochet is down on the floor. The OC comes walking out the stage as the fans boo. We go to commercial break. Back from the break, the OC at ringside watching now. Drew beats on Ricochet in the ring. Drew slaps Ricochet and they talk some trash now. Ricochet fights back and nails a kick to the head. Randy Orton runs in, but Ricochet nails kick him as well. Ricochet charged, but Randy Orton sends him on the apron for a draping DDT. Orton nails it for a 2 count as Drew breaks it up. Randy Orton and Drew have words in the middle of the ring now. Drew with a big chop to the chest. Orton loses his breath for a few seconds, but fights back with a chop of his own. Drew with another huge chop to the chest, much harder than louder than Orton. Orton with a poke in the eye instead. Randy Orton unloads on Drew into the corner with the uppercut. Drew with a glass glove kick his head, but from out of nowhere to drop Randy Orton. Ricochet flies in and take Drew down, and then hits a standing shooting star press. Ricochet kicks Ray out with a drop kick. Ricochet counters Drew for an invert hurricanrana, but it blocks. Ricochet blocks the Alabama slam for a roll up for a 2 count. Drew counters Ricochet with another slam. Drew with a big sit-down powerbomb for another close 2 count on Ricochet. Drew waits for Ricochet to get up now. Drew goes for a Claymore, but Randy Orton runs in with a big RKO. Kicks out at 2. The OC pulls Orton out and sends him in the barrel. Luke Gallows to Carl Anderson. Ray flies in the ring, but Ricochet catches him, and they tangle. Ricochet catches a moonsault, but Ray turns it into a roll-up for the pin to become number 1 contender. The winner and the new number 1 contender to AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio. After the match, the OC watches from the ringside as Ray stands tall as his music hits. AJ likes the results of the match as we go to the replay. AJ applauds, laughs, and points at Rey Mysterio as we go back to commercial. The WWE United States title match, Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles. This match was good. Back from the break, we get formal ring introductions from Rome as Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles race in the ring. The bell rings and AJ Styles go to work on Rey, beating him around the ring. AJ plays to the crowd for some boos. Rey tries to fight back, but AJ drops him with a stiff backbreaker as Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson look from ringside. AJ says he can't do this all night long. AJ with a snap suplex and some more trash talking. Rey goes to the floor for a breather. AJ Styles and sends Rey Mysterio head first into the barrel as the referee counts. AJ with a big chop to the chest. AJ brings Rey back in, but Rey fights back and out of the corner. Rey goes to the top, but AJ knocks his knee out. AJ goes over while he upside down in a tree of wow now. AJ charges with the basement dropkick to the jaw. AJ covers for a 1 count as Ray gets his foot on the bottom rope. AJ with more trash talking. AJ keeps Ray grounded with a headlock now. Ray fights up and out, but AJ knocks him right back down to the mat. AJ is all smiles as some fans boo him. AJ used the second rope to choke Ray. AJ slingshots Ray under the second rope now. AJ blocks a superplex attempt and fights back with strikes. Ray with a big shot to the mouth. Ray hits the ropes, but his left knee goes out. Ray works him over while he's stuck in the ropes. Ray ends up countering and sending AJ shoulder first into the middle turnbuckle. Fans try to rally for Ray now. AJ gets up first and catches a kick. Ray with the insecurity. Ray goes for the 619. But Anderson pulls Ray's leg out, and Ray goes down on the mat. The referees eject Anderson and Gallows to the back as the crowd pops. AJ argues with the referee. We go to commercial. Back from the break, Styles rams Ray and he goes clutching his arm. More back and forth now. AJ climbs up, works over in the corner. AJ charges, but Ray moves, and AJ Styles lands hard with the ring post between his legs. AJ yells out in pain. Ray goes to the top and flies with a seated senton. Ray goes on and hits his head scissors takedown. Ray miles AJ in the corner with strikes now. Ray runs into a boot in the corner. Ray comes back and counters, then hits a big bulldog for a close 2 count. Fans chant 619 now. Ray goes on the top, but AJ Styles catches him. AJ climbs up with Ray for a superplex, but blocks it more. Back and forth until AJ drops Ray's neck over his knee. Ray still kicks out at 2. Ray blocks the AJ Styles clash. Ray with a destroyer of his own for a close 2 count. Ray Mysterio springboards and drops AJ for a 619 for a big pop. Ray nails the 619, but AJ goes into the referee, knocking him down. Ray goes over and covers AJ, but the referee is knocked out. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson rushes in the ring and attack Ray as the fans boo. AJ recovers as Ray gets double teamed. Randy Orton runs down and meets Luke Gallows at ringside, taking him out. Then Anderson, Orton goes for AJ. AJ rocks him. AJ springboards but misses. Then Ray drops him for the 619. Ray hits the 619. Orton with the RKO on AJ. AJ follows up. Then a fall splash on AJ as the referee wakes up to count the pin the title change. The winner and new WWE United States Champion Rey Mysterio. After the match, Rey's music hits. As he celebrates with the title, his son Dominic runs in to celebrate with him. We go to replay. Back from the break, Charlie Caruso is with Kevin Owens backstage. She goes to speak, but Kevin Owens nicely asks if he can handle things one by himself. She hands him the mic and leaves. Kevin Owens starts off with harsh words for Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens goes on about how never tried to be something he's not in WWE, even when people try to force him to, because he knows he is. Will always be, and that's fine. Orton says Rollins has always tried to be what thinks WWE needs him to be, and he just turned himself into an insufferable prick. Kevin Owens goes on and says the next stunner coming from him to Seth Rollins will turn Monday Night Raw into the Kevin Owens show. Alright. Auska versus Charlotte Flair. You know what I'm saying? This match was good for my opinion, but it was just Charlotte Flair's moonsault continues to be god awful. And we go to the ring, and out comes first Charlotte Flair as the power goes off. Out next comes the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, Auska with Kairi Sane. The bell rings. Auska taunts Flair to start. Flair rocks her with a forearm to the face. Flair takes Auska down and unloads with strikes. Auska goes to the floor, and Flair follows, running her into the barrier. Flair brings it back in the ring. Then knocks Kairi Sane off the barrier with a big boot. Auska grabs Flair from behind and goes to toss her, but Flair counters and launches Auska across the ring. Flair stomps in the corner now as the referee warns her. Flair charges in the corner, but Auska moves. Auska works Flair over, but Flair drops her with a forearm. Flair repeatedly slams Auska's head into the turnbuckle now. Auska counters and slams and drops Flair by her hair. Then trades shots from their knees now. They go to their feet. Flair fights off a German suplex attempt to drop Flair. Flair charges, but Auska goes for submission. Flair resists and drops Auska for the figure four. Auska blocks it and kicks her away. Auska charge but gets rocked. Sane distracts Flair from the floor, allowing Auska to level Flair in the corner into the turnbuckle with a hip attack. Auska takes her time and covers for a 2 count. Auska keeps fighting Auska keeps Flair grounded and work on her arm now, as Sane looks on and smiles. More back and forth from their knee now. Auska with big kicks while Flair is on her knees. Flair catches a kick but misses. Auska with strikes to the face and spinning back fist. Auska charges, but Flair hits a big boot to the face for a 2 count. Auska rolls to the floor for a breather with Sane now. Flair taunts them from the ring as the referee counts. Flair falls and chases Sane into the crowd. Sane runs away up the steps through the crowd to concession arena as Flair stops chasing her. Auska is still down against the barrier at ringside. Flair walks back over to Auska. We go to commercial break. Back from the break, Flair drop kicks Auska back again to the barrier from the ring. Flair brings it back into the ring, but Auska pulls her into an armbar in the middle of the ring. Flair turns it into a 2 count. Flair fights out, beats on Auska some more. Flair slaps Auska. It says Flair slaps Auska. Auska sends Flair to the apron and kick her. Flair comes back with a kick. Flair misses a big boot. Auska drops Flair with her head with a German. Auska stomps away on Flair. Flair with a roll up for a 2. Auska goes right into the Auska lock, but Flair pins her. More back and forth between the two. Flair with a clothesline. Flair with a big chop now, backing Auska into the ropes. Flair with a big fall-away slam and a kip-up. Flair steps on Auska, goes on top for the moonsault. Charlotte Flair's moonsault is terrible. Il Shirai can do a moonsault way better than Charlotte Flair. I'm just speaking facts. But let me continue. Auska moves and Flair lands on her feet. This leads to Flair pinning Auska for a 2 count. Flair blocks a hip attack. Auska rolls her up for a 2 count. Charlotte Flair avoids another Auska lock. Flair with a belly to back suplex. More back and forth in the corner. Auska levels Flair for a close 2 count. Auska goes to the top goes to the top, but Flair ducks the crossbody. Flair goes for a natural selection, but Auska puts her in the armbar and then triangle. Flair tries to power up and finally does into the Boston Crab in the middle of the ring. Then they tangle some more on the mat. Flair boots Auska in the face. Flair works on the leg, but Auska kicks her. Flair comes right back with a big spear for a close 2. Kairi Sane comes back out. Flair sends her into the ring post on the outside, and she goes down. Flair comes back into the ring, but Auska spits green mist in her face. Auska rolls Flair up for the pin to win. The winner of the match, Auska. After the match, Auska and Kairi Sane celebrates with their titles at ringside, laughing at Flair, covered in green mist inside in the ring as we go to replay. So Auska finds a way to cheat to win. Now, if this was Auska from NXT, Auska would not use green mist on NXT. But when Auska's on the main roster, she used the green mist to cheat to win. And your boy Chris brought up a very good point when he tweeted this out. So shout out to your boy Chris for tweeting that out. So your boy Chris, if you're watching this video, shout out to you, man. Keep up the good work, man. Stay consistent. Keep grinding, man. You're almost there, man. But anyway, let me continue. Erick Rowan versus Kyle Roberts. This match was just garbage. This match was pointless. Back from the break, and out comes Erick Rowan to the ring. Erick Rowan is carrying his pet in the covered cage once again. We see a video from earlier up today with Erick Rowan talking to a camera inside the cage. Exchangeman talent, Kyle Roberts waits in the ring. The bell rings and Kyle goes over to the floor to see what's in the cage. This upsets Erick Rowan, who begins destroying the guy on the outside. Erick Rowan powerbombs Roberts into the ring post. Erick Rowan brings it back into the ring and yells at Robert. Erick Rowan drives Roberts into the mat with a 2 Iron Claw chokeslam and cover for the pin to win. The winner of the match, Erick Rowan. This match didn't do me no good. I just didn't really care about this match. But anyway, let me continue. After the match, Erick Rowan goes to ringside to his pad as the music hits. We go to replay. We cut to the WWE Shop Black Friday segment with the Iconics and the 24/7 champion R-Truth. I hate this segment. I really hate this segment. We see Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens backstage warming up for the main event. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we see the OC Sarah Schreiber asks AJ for comments on losing the United States title, but he's at loss for words. AJ finally speaks and just says Randy Orton's name. We see what happened earlier with Rusev with Bobby Lashley. The announcers talk about how Rusev was arrested and Lashley was taken to the medical facility. Charlie Caruso is backstage with Lana now. Fans boo at Lana and says Rusev is in danger to himself and all of society, which is why she had to get multiple restraining orders. Lana says Rusev is obsessed with her, but who can blame him? She said tonight's action are proof. WWE should fire Rusev and send him back to Bulgaria. Lana says she is handling things with her attack on Lashley. Despite the trolling incident, she says she will be okay when Lana walks off. Soon as I seen Lana backstage, and guess what? I grabbed my remote and I mute the TV because that was god awful. Now, here we go. This main event of the night. Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. We go to the ring for tonight's main event, and out comes the archetype Seth Rollins. Burn it down. Back to commercial. Back from the break, and out comes Kevin Owens to the ring. The bell rings, and Rollins avoids a quick stunner. They go to the floor and they brawl. Owens sends Seth Rollins into the burial and talks some trash. Owens brings in, but Rollins decks him. Rollins goes for a dive, which is terrible, but Owens hits him at the ropes. Kevin Owens talks some trash and delivers some offense in the ring now. Fans chant for Owens. The way that Seth Rollins executed Suicide Dive was just terrible. It was just terrible. But back to what I was saying. Owens drops Rollins again and hits a senton for a two count. More back and forth now. Some fans chant for CM Punk. Rollins takes Owens down and goes for a single leg crab. Owens powers and chops Rollins. Kevin Owens lifts Seth Rollins on his shoulder, but he slides out. Seth Rollins ends up hitting a sling blade. Seth Rollins knocks Kevin Owens out of the ring onto the floor now. Seth Rollins runs the ropes and hits a big dive on the floor. Seth Rollins runs again for another dive, which is terrible, like I said earlier, sending Owens in the burial. Seth Rollins brings it back into the ring and springboards but Owens ducks. Kevin Owens with the big super kick, sending Rollins to the floor. Owens plays the crowds for a pop. Rollins grabs a steel chair, but the referee stops him as Owens tells him to bring it. Owens stands tall in the ring as Rollins stares him from the outside with a chair. We go to commercial. Alright. Back from the break, and Owens knocks Seth Rollins to the mat after they tangle up top. Owens goes for the senton, but Rollins gets his knees up. Kevin Owens kicks out at 2. Rollins stumps on Kevin Owens and mouths him with a right hand in the middle of the ring. Seth Rollins grounds Owens as some more fans tries to start CM Punk chant. Seth Rollins keeps knocking Owens down and working him around the ring. Owens fires back with a big chop to the chest. Seth Rollins brushes it off and unloads in the corner with chops of his own. Seth Rollins with headbutts Owens, counters and catches Seth Rollins with the big DDT in the middle of the ring. Kevin Owens goes on hits a cannonball in the corner. Kevin Owens goes to the top, but Seth Rollins rolls to the floor for a breather. Kevin Owens leaps from the top and nails Rollins on the floor. Kevin Owens brings it back in the ring and goes to the top for a big fall splash. Seth Rollins still kicks out at 2. Kevin Owens for a big pop-up powerbomb and misses. Kevin Owens blocks a pedigree. Seth Rollins comes back in and hits a blockbuster. Seth Rollins keeps it locked and nails a Falcon Arrow in the middle of the ring, but Kevin Owens kicks out at 2. Seth Rollins goes up first, and fans boos at him as he cranks up. A burn it down chant starts. Kevin Owens dodges the stomp but misses a stunner. They tangle and trade counters again. Kevin Owens with a pop-up powerbomb for a close 2 count, and Seth Rollins is knocked out. Seth Rollins blocks the stunner and they tangle again. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins trade big kicks now. Seth Rollins brings Owens down with a big kick to the boos. Kevin Owens catches Seth Rollins with a stunner from out of nowhere. The Artist of Pain suddenly enters the ring while both competitors are down. Kevin Owens goes up first and stares Artist of Pain down. Kevin Owens attacked, but Artist of Pain beat him down as the referee calls for the bell. The winner of the match by disqualification, Kevin Owens. After the bell, Akria and Rizar continue to beat down on Kevin Owens. A you know what chant starts up. Seth Rollins watches as the AOP destroys Kevin Owens in the corner, launching him into the ring post several times. Fans continue to boo. AOP leaves. Kevin Owens lands after a double team knee. Seth Rollins is still down in the corner now, barely moving. Akria and Rizar approaches Rollins and he gets to his feet. Seth Rollins tells them to bring it, but they just look at each other and then turned around and exited the ring. Fans booed as Akam and Rezar merged to the back while Seth Rollins watches from the ring. Kevin Owens is slowly getting back to his feet now. Seth Rollins looks at Kevin Owens and puts him back down with a big stump. Fans boo louder. The fans boo loudly as Seth Rollins talks trash to Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins with another curb stomp to Kevin Owens while talking trash. Raw goes off the air with Seth Rollins talking trash to Kevin Owens while he's down. That's all I got to say on there. Monday Night Raw. That's all I got to say for Monday Night Raw. But I was so proud to see Matt Hardy and Authors of Pain on Monday Night Raw again. They need to push the Authors of Pain. You know what I'm saying? WWE needs to push the Authors of Pain. Cause I believe that Authors of Pain will go after the Viking Raiders for the Raw Tag Team Champions. That's just my own thoughts and my opinion. But let me know what you guys think of Monday Night Raw, man. Let me know down below in the comment section because I want answers. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my WWE Raw review and results, Rey Mysterio won the United States Championship. Give me a thumbs up. Comment down below what you guys think of Monday Night Raw. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bigboyjonnytwentyfive. Talk to you guys later. And I'm out of here.